What happens when your dream vacation lands you in a foreign hospital with injuries you can't even pronounce? I'm talking broken bones, surgery, and a price tag that could rival your mortgage.
Today, I'm sharing a story that will change how you think about travel insurance forever. Plus, three critical things every over 50 traveler needs to know before boarding the plane. Trust me, this could save you from financial disaster.
Let me take you back to a regular Tuesday at my hospital job. I'm working like the star employee I am, and I get a phone call from an insurance agent, and he is frantic. He says, I need your help. I have a client who was in a bus on Amalfi Coast and it fell over the cliff, which is really scary to think about. What he needed from me was some medical codes so he could get that client flown back to the US. We're talking multiple injuries, fractures, and she's in the hospital in Italy. And in order to come back, he has to provide the medical codes to show she's seriously sick enough to get her insurance to cover that flight back home. This poor woman's vacation was immediately ruined, but she had made the decision before she left to get really good insurance so that she was covered when something like this unexpectedly happened to her.
Without travel insurance, this woman would have been financially devastated. At our age, we can't just bounce back from a six-figure medical debt. We're thinking about retirement, not bankruptcy. The lesson: never assume you're covered. Always, always check what your current insurance actually covers when you travel internationally.
Here's what most people don't realize. Your domestic insurance, including Medicare, usually will not cover you when you're outside the United States. And if it does, it's just a very small amount of coverage. This bus accident that I mentioned that this woman was in, her bill was already $45,000 before she even got on that flight home. The medical flight evacuation was $65,000. Let's talk about the scariest part. What if you're in some remote area, like the Amalfi Coast, Tanzania, or Machu Picchu? You might need an air ambulance to take you from there to a local hospital as well as from a local hospital home. These aren't regular flights. These are medical flights. We're talking specialized jets with medical personnel on board. The cost anywhere from $30,000 to $200,000 depending on how sick you are and how far they have to fly you.
And here's what makes this especially important for us over 50 travelers. We're more likely to have pre existing conditions, a heart issue, diabetes, mobility challenges. These can turn a minor incident into a major medical emergency that requires evacuation. Good travel insurance should include medical evacuation coverage. And I'm not talking about those ones that have that $10,000 limit. You want at least $100,000, preferably $250,000 or more. To me, this would be a non negotiable.
Now let's get most of us over 50 are handling some type of a pre-existing condition. Maybe you have high blood pressure, asthma, thyroid issues. If you're taking medication for one of those, it's considered a pre-existing condition. And a lot of travel insurances will not cover that unless you buy the policy right after you book the trip. Sometimes there's a range of 10 to 21 days after you book the trip, but the sooner the better so you can get those issues covered in your coverage plan. That agent that called me, he told me one of the first questions he was asked as their insurance agent was this a pre-existing condition? This woman was in a bus and fell off a cliff. So no, it's not pre-existing, but they really take that seriously because that's a great way for them not to have to pay for your injuries or something that might happen to you when you're abroad. My advice is to read that policy and ask lots of questions before you sign on the dotted line. Here's a bonus tip. People our age, 50 or over, should really look into trip cancellation or interruption coverage. At our age and what is going on in the world today, things can happen. An aging parent could get sick. Your own health could take an unexpected turn. A spouse may need emergency surgery. Russia may invade the country you are planning to go visit. These aren't maybes, these are realities.
If you've booked a $5,000 river cruise through Europe, that bucket list trip to New Zealand, and you have to cancel at the last minute, most of that money is gone without insurance. Non refundable deposits, airline tickets, hotel reservations, poof. But with cancel for any reason coverage, which usually costs about 40 to 50% more, but covers up to 75% of your trip cost, you have flexibility. If life throws you a curveball, you can cancel and recoup most of your money. This peace of mind, it's everything when you're planning that adventure you've been dreaming about for years.
So let's recap. Number one, your regular insurance probably won't cover you when you go abroad on a vacation. Number two, medical evacuation insurance is essential. Number three, make sure your policy is going to cover your pre-existing conditions. Number four, protect your investment and get that coverage for cancellation or interruption.
These four things could be the difference between a manageable emergency and a life altering financial disaster.
Have you ever had a medical emergency when you were traveling? Drop your story below in the comments. I want to hear it. And if you found this helpful, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and like. I share practical tips for travelers over 50 so you can travel safer and smarter.
Next, I'll be breaking down the best travel insurance companies for our group, what to look for and what to avoid. Listen, traveling over 50 doesn't mean slowing down or playing it safe. It means traveling smarter. It means protecting yourself so you can have the adventures that you have earned without all the worry.
So pack those bags, do that trip, but do it with the protection you deserve. Safe travels, my friends. Ciao for now.